Well, tomorrow on St. Joseph's Day, a special tradition will continue at St. Joseph's College. Each year, the college honors the Sisters of St. Joseph, who founded the college more than 100 years ago, and the sisters renew their vows. Joining us now via Skype is the president of St. Joseph's College, Dr. Donald Boomgaarden. Thank you so much for joining us. So great to see you again.
Thank you, Colleen. It's great to be with you.
And it's such a special day tomorrow, St. Joseph's Day, for the college and the sisters.
Absolutely. It's a special day, but it's also a special year. As Brother Tim and Monsignor Jim were talking about earlier, the year of St. Joseph proclaimed by Pope Pius IX in 1870, the commemoration of that this year by Pope Francis is a very big moment for us.
How is the college, or how will you be celebrating throughout the year?
Well, we actually started some time ago. We have had a wonderful group of students, faculty, and staff engaged in a kind of Zoom discussions about St. Joseph and meditations on St. Joseph for a number of weeks now. We also have inaugurated the Year of St. Joseph on our website. So if anyone looks at our website, you'll see some materials there on him. Just this week, I had an hour-long interview with Sister Beth Johnson, who's a former professor of theology at Fordham, also a sister of St. Joseph, and we talked a lot about St. Joseph historically and as a personality in the church. And of course, the Sisters of St. Joseph have a number of special ceremonies, including a Mass and a renewal of vows, which will be occurring here on campus and also in their various churches throughout the country.
You know, you go back to the college being started by the sisters back in 1916 with just 12 students. And I had to remember, like, many women now take going to college for granted. Very few women went to college back then. You know, we didn't have the right to vote back then. This was a big endeavor and mission for these sisters.
Yes, and they were extraordinary. And they're still extraordinary. You know, I have a number of them that still work here at the college, and you know, I stay in close contact with them. And they basically had a vision, and that vision was to provide education to people who normally wouldn't be getting an education. And so today we educate men and women, but we educate many young men and young women who otherwise would not be getting an education. So many of our students are first-generation students. And so we've remained true to that mission of the sisters of bringing education to those who otherwise might not be able to obtain it.
You know, I have to think back to a year ago, right now, on St. Joseph's Day. What was going on? I mean, your life and the students' lives just suddenly were upended in a few minutes when everything had to shut down.
Yes, we're remembering that each day. I kind of remember back to that particular day in March. It was really March 8th, I think, that we had our first COVID incident, and it involved our a child care center, a Dillon Center in Brooklyn. And once we had to close that, I realized we were going to have to close all of our campuses. And that was as a president of a college, the last thing you ever want to do is close your college. And so it was very difficult. But we made it through those first difficult weeks. And then because St. Joseph's has had for some time a very vibrant online program, we were able to shift to remote learning pretty quickly and successfully. And I think we came through the year about as well as we possibly could have.
Yeah. And this spring semester already, things starting to lighten up and big plans for the summer and the fall?
Yes, we already have about 30% of our courses on ground. And so there are plenty of students here on campus today and also in Brooklyn. In the summer, we'll continue that approach. But in the fall, I think we'll be close to 80% on ground and very much back to normal.
You look back at the two campuses. You have a campus in Brooklyn, a campus in Patchogue, and we're talking about St. Joseph. How important is he to the campus community?
Well, I think that in the previous conversation with Monsignor Jim and Brother Tim, that was quite beautiful, by the way. When we talk about St. Joseph, we think of him, of course, as St. Joseph the worker, but St. Joseph was also a teacher. He was the teacher of Jesus. And so when we look at the special devotion that the Sisters of St. Joseph have to teaching, you can see the interrelationship there between education and St. Joseph. So Joseph was a father figure, and of course, all of us, are fortunate if we have a great father figure. And then he was also a teacher. So for the students of St. Joseph, no matter what area they're working in, that idea of Joseph as a model, as a role model, and also as a loving teacher is very important to us.
It's so great that, the church is dedicating the entire year to St. Joseph and so many more people learning more about him. It is wonderful.
Yeah, we're excited about it, and it couldn't come at a better time. I think that Pope Francis is, it was a very, very good idea to remind the world about this proclamation. That proclamation came out in 1870 when the church was going through some really difficult times. And so this kind of reference to St. Joseph this year in the pandemic year is all the more telling, all the more poignant, because that focus on the common person, the everyday person, our healthcare workers, our first responders, the people who very bravely have gone through this crisis with us to bring us to a successful day today. All of that is a part of that special devotion to that figure that's somewhat in the background, St. Joseph, but who was so important to Jesus and also to the rest of civilization.
Dr. Boomgaarden, thank you so much for joining us. It's always so nice to talk to you, and happy St. Joseph's Day.
Same to you, Colleen. Thank you.
Thank you.